Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we decided to add an additional step to our capitalism and our acquisitions, and I think that was a good addition overall. So we need to attack Nepal next, but I don't think we're in position for this yet, are we? Actually, maybe we are. Okay, so that looks good then. So we don't need to justify a war goal. They're improving relations with Ireland for some reason. And we're just going to look to annex. Perfect. So these guys are executing their plan, and that will be taken care of very quickly. Cool. So it will take us a little bit of time to push into these mountains. That's not terribly surprising. But we're making good progress already. Hey look, the war in Chile is over. Shocking. So we'll just continue to work our way through this. It'll take a little bit, but as we can see, they're already starting to they're starting to take attrition already, and that's very, very good for us. So that's fantastic. They don't have the capacity to be able to resist us for long, but they can dig in the mountains, and this will be a little bit slower than some of the previous conquests that we've done here. That's absolutely understood. In the meantime, while that's underway, we can absolutely be checking in on our coring status. 36 days? I'm just going to wait that out. Okay, so we'll proceed for now, and we'll just keep an eye on the status of this war here, which shouldn't be particularly complicated. It'll get better and better as more and more tanks get levied against a smaller and smaller area as we push them out of locations like this. So that looks absolutely wonderful. They tried to push out, and that did not go well for them in the slightest, which we fully expect. So as you can see, we are definitely whittling them down, and this was always going to be a little bit of a tough fight in the mountains. Our tanks are not necessarily the best at mountain warfare, right? And that's okay. Absolutely fine. We'll win this through the sheer force of attrition. We're actually currently winning the fight for Kathmandu, which is surprising. Okay, now we're losing it. That makes more sense. So that's absolutely fine. We're going to continue to push in, and more of their forces are probably going to retreat there. I'm expecting that to be where they make their final stand. So this looks fine for right now. We're about to take 2 more provinces here. There we go. There's 1 and 2. Excellent. They actually have most of their troops right up here, not in their capital. That's surprising to me. They've got 21 units there, and we're going to push them out of Kathmandu, which means that they're just going to capitulate, and we're not going to have to kill all those units. That's a very, very good thing. Eventually, we'll manage to make our way in there. It's definitely taking some time to move through these mountains, and that's not shocking in the slightest. Okay, so we're not currently attacking over here. It looks like we don't really have much of an attack order. I'm going to order them to just offensive line like this. Just attack. The plan of attack is attack. At this point, as long as we're attacking, good things are happening. So that looks good. We can also tell all of our infantry, theoretically, to just come on in here. Let's push them out of the capital, and it looks like we are about to push them out of the capital here. There we go. And Nepal has capitulated. Perfect. So we're going to take the one state that exists here, and we are going to confirm an exit. Okay, so this out over here is our vassal. So up over this direction, what isn't our vassal? Well, all of these are our vassals. This is not. That's the UK. That's part of the Allies. There's Afghanistan. That's down to a single province, so they are technically fair game. Are they part of the Allies? I don't think so. No. They are not part of the Allies. Okay, so let's head on over with these forces then. We're just going to do... that's mildly awkward. There's basically 3 areas here, right? So I'm going to select all of these. And then I'm going to select half of those, which this is going to be really, really awkward here. But I'm going to do half here, And then I'm going to select half of those. And I'm going to put them right down over here, like that. So yeah, 3 areas. And that seems fine. Now we're going to select these guys. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put them right out over here. And then we're going to select half of those, and they're going to go up over here. And then we're going to select half of those, and they're going to go right out over here. Perfect. So that'll be fine. Now what I want to do is I want to select the tanks. And I want all of them to be offensive lining, like straight up to here. Sure, I guess that'll do. So let that go, and we'll get in position for that attack. Now, we've got a lot of political power, but we're about to finish coring Cairo. And that's done. So now what I want to do is I want to core... Apparently East Anglia is next on the list. Sure. Why not? That sounds good. And there's a lot of resource development that we can do. And we want to do that. Is that a higher priority than these hostile takeovers? Honestly, we're the East India Company. We want to take those resources and sell it, right? So I kind of feel like this is a pretty high priority. So we're going to get to work on all of that. Excellent. In the meantime, we have these constructions, and we're basically done with the constructions that we have. Looks like all of that is built up, so no problem there. Okay. So at this point, we're basically just exporting a lot of resources with our constructions, and we're just not going to do any purchases for a little bit. I want to work our way through these expansions. So we can put civilian factories to work on that, absolutely. Each one of these is 25 political power, so we can do that fairly regularly. That's not too bad. Okay, there we go. We can do this about once every 2 weeks or so. So how are we doing with Afghanistan? Well, we're basically in position, but the question is, do we have a claim on it? No, we do not, so we need to justify on them. So that's going to cost us 25 political power as well, and take 125 days. Noted. So that's going to be our top priority for our political power. We absolutely need to get this justification underway. So that's going to cost us 25. That's not a big deal. We need 12 more political power. Does this number actually update? No, it does not. That's interesting. Presumably this button is updating. Okay, there it updated on the month tick. Okay, now it is updating. Exciting. At any rate, we're going to begin justifying on the Kingdom of Afghanistan. So that looks good. And from there, the question is, what's our next goal in terms of, like, people to attack? This would probably be the Republic of Iran, would be my guess. They're not aligned, and we would probably just go for that. Most likely. But for now, we need to justify on Afghanistan, and that is going to take some time. In the meantime, of course, we can continue to develop up all of the resources that we've purchased access to. So that sounds great. And we'll just continue to work on that. So as we can see, we're definitely going to be continuing to upgrade this for a while. But getting all of this production is going to be huge. We have a pretty big corner on the world's resources, just kind of generally. The only location we really don't have much access in is South America. Everywhere else we have significant control over. Europe, we're a little bit smaller on in our presence for the moment, but that's only for the moment. So that looks good. We'll just continue our justification on Afghanistan. That seems fine. And Republic of Iran is also in the category of eligible for us to declare a very peaceful war on. So that sounds good. Yes, we are indeed questioning the motives of the Kingdom of Afghanistan. Perfect. So that looks fine. I do want to continue to work on prospecting for these resources, and this is going to take a while. We can do a lot of development here. I think for now, I'm going to focus on steel. I want to get a lot of steel production going. So we're going to do that. What all are we short on at this moment? Let's check in on our trade. Okay, so we're currently very, very positive on everything. And we're importing some things. We should probably set this to 0. So that we are no longer importing any chromium. We don't need to be importing any steel. So let's get rid of that. And Brazil. Okay. There we go. And we don't need to be importing any aluminum either. So I'll bring that right on down. And this will free up some civilian factories because, you know, we definitely need more civilian factories. But you can see we've got so many resources. Hey, look, Chile is at war. That's never going to stop, I fear. Okay, so at this point, we need to expand the steelworks in Ohio. So that is absolutely excellent, and we'll continue to work on that. Eventually, we'll get all of these developed, but it is going to take some time. No doubt about it. How long on our justification, though? That's an interesting question. So, 36 out of 125 days? Sure. So that's looking fine for now. I definitely do want to get this taken over, and there will be no real problem doing this. They don't really have any capacity to stop us, and we are on aggressively attack. Okay, that sounds good. And for the moment, we're just chilling until that's done. Hey, look, the war in Chile is over. That'll be back in about a year, it seems. So next up, I'd like to expand the steelworks in Indiana. There we go. Fantastic. And we're just continuing to boost up our steel production. Not like we actually need these resources, but, you know, the board of directors want to maximize our profit. The Soviet Union is demanding the return of Alaska. That's a really good joke. So the Soviet Union has a war goal against us. The thing to note about that is that they're part of the Allies. So that's interesting. That has an effect on the landscape. That changes our priority somewhat. There's a lot of fronts that would open up if we fought the Allies right now. I would like to focus on reducing those fronts. I'm still not going to deploy troops, to be clear. I want to scramble. So we'll wait and see. If they declare war on us, they declare war on us. But that means that I want to go back to purchasing territory. I don't want to continue working on prospecting for resources right now. I want to focus on reducing the number of fronts that we would have to defend if we got into war with the Allies. So I want to buy, say, Kazan here. Soviet Union is unwilling to part with that. Fair enough. So we'll just continue to roll these. We need to get the political power. And yeah, I just want to continue to weaken them. And we'll have to, if a war breaks out with the Allies, we'll have to stymie the bleeding, or rather stem the bleeding. And there will be significant bleeding. Like, look at all of these fronts. There's going to be a lot. We're going to have a very hard time defending all of this. We don't even have anything in North America for right now. I'm going to deploy a couple of units to North America. So we're going to frontline right over here. We're going to frontline right over here. And we're going to frontline right up here. I want to have just some units over here for now. Mostly because I don't want to have to deploy them from here after war breaks out. And we might want to have one unit also in Britain. We do. We do have units in Britain. Okay, that's fine. So I'm not too concerned about that then. So we'll get some troops heading over to North America, but we're not really looking to make any aggressive posturings there. So these guys... Did I redirect the people from here? No. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. So that looks good. No issue there for now. So we'll definitely have problems if a war breaks out with the Allies. No doubt about that. So in terms of continuing to reduce the amount of fronts here, Ufa. They gave us that. Perfect. What else do we have here? Well, we could continue to try to buy some Soviet territory. And they're willing to give us some. But honestly, I just kind of want to go down the list. So let's purchase here. Fantastic. I'd like to get Sumi, so let's see what we've got here. There we go. Unwilling to part with their land. Okay, fair enough. So we'll need to build infrastructure in some of these new locations, of course, and these are going to build very, very quickly. I do want to get some anti-air going in these areas. I don't think that we have any coastal territories, but let's absolutely get some civilian factories going here. So we're going back to our purchasing at this point because I am concerned that the Soviet Union might actually try to escalate this into a war. And if they do, I want to reduce the number of fronts that we're going to have. Absolutely. It's going to be a concern, for sure. Provisional government of Eritrea. No, get out of here. That's not allowed. Okay. So that's absolutely fine at this point. We'll just get all of that construction going. We're up to 36 political power, and as far as Afghanistan goes, I am certainly interested in finishing this justification. That's going to be a while yet. Noted. Okay, so I kind of just want to keep going down this list. I'm looking at how much remains in it. Okay, I mean, it's going to take us a very long time to get all the way through this, right? So the Socialist Republic of Livonia has given us some territory. Perfect. Next up would be Harju. Do we get that? Yes, we do. Excellent. American Latvia is selling us territory. I like it. And the Polish People's Republic is as well. So we're definitely encroaching into Europe here. That looks great. We got quite a lot of territory right up over here there. So that's what we like to see. Excellent. So we're just trying to make ourselves appear, you know, incredibly, incredibly strong on paper. That's the goal at this point. And I think we do appear incredibly strong on paper. That's my suspicion. I don't think that the AI would attack us in this position. I mean, Japan attacked us when I didn't think they would attack us, but that was kind of different. Japan was, at that point, a superpower. And we were, you know, not. Things are slightly different now. That's for sure. So, at this point, we do need more civilian factories. We'll get those going. And the question is, do we still want to be working on developing resources? Or do we want to still be working on purchases? We kind of can't do both. That's the awkward part about this, is that we're too political power limited. We cannot do both. We must ready the people for war, yes. Afghanistan isn't going to be much of a war, of course, but it's fine. Okay, so we'll just get all of these constructions underway. There we go. And this one as well. Apparently, I missed that one. Cool. Okay, so that looks good for the moment. I think I want to go back to working on, and I'm just going to minimize this for the time being. I just want to go back to working on developing resources. What do we think the odds are that the Soviet Union actually attacks us? I think it's pretty low, to be honest. They're not in a position to win that. I think that we would win the overall war, although we would take initial losses as we scrambled to defend all of these areas. But as we isolate it down, take out some of these pockets, and consolidate our fronts, I think we'd start pushing them back and ultimately win the war. Okay, so for now, let's work on expanding our... Honestly, we don't really need steelworks. We don't really need resources. That's what we're coming down to. We don't really need resources of any description other than maybe like rubber, but we can always make rubber. Okay, we finished up our justification for Afghanistan. I'm going to declare this. Yeah, I'm going to declare this. And in we go. Excellent. Are you attacking here? You are not.
Hey, come on.
I'd like to see these tanks attacking out over here. Although we're currently defending here, but there we go. Cool. So Afghanistan is trying to fight back, and they're actually being vaguely successful at it. Vaguely. But this is not going to last long. Afghanistan is always a difficult place to conquer. It's just, like, the terrain is terrible to try to conquer. It's very, very rough. But it's fine. This will be okay. We'll just get these guys turned back around and moved right back in. We're not really attacking from this side, so I'm going to select these tanks. I'm going to give them a separate offensive line, and their goal is to do that. There we go. So this will be difficult, and we knew that going in. This is just how Afghanistan works. In the meantime, I'm going to be using the political power that we're generating to develop our resources more. Because we can always use more resources, right? Right. So we're just going to work our way through this. There's a good amount of political power that we need to put into that, but that's okay. And eventually we'll wear these guys down. Eventually. But it will take some time. These down over here are not attacking either. Okay. Yeah, we want them to offensive line, like, right up over there, and we'll tell them execute that. There we go. Kabul just fell, though, and it is over. Excellent. So we're going to take Kabul, and we are going to submit these demands. Confirm and exit. Excellent. So, where is our next target? Well, I believe that to be the Republic of Iran. Do we have a CB here? We do not. So we will need to justify against the Republic of Iran, and that will, of course, take time, and quite a lot of it. So we're going to move our troops right on down here.
Come out.
And we're going to move these guys as well. Over they come. And the plan here is going to be an offensive line to the coast, just like that. We'll tell them to execute that, but it's going to take time before we're ready to actually attack Iran. So Afghanistan has fallen. That is perfect. I would like to get some of the Soviet Union territory that's out over here, but they're not very likely to give that to us, unfortunately. Very, very sad. So we should be able to justify here now. Yep, let's do it. So we'll start justifying. We've generated 11.1% world tension. Fair enough. We kind of want to keep the world tension up, because otherwise we can't actually justify, right? And that's problematic for us, for sure. So I would like to continue to work on developing these resources. There's only so many times that we can do this. So there's a finite amount of political power to be spent on this. And we definitely want to get that completed eventually. But we are spending a lot of political power on this that could be theoretically spent on annexing more territory out over here in Europe. That would be a good thing to do, no doubt about it, but we're just going to continue to work on developing our resources for the time being. So that looks good. As these finish up, they'll probably repopulate. A lot of these we can do multiple times, and we're just going to have a huge, huge stranglehold on the world's supply of things, just in general. Just in general. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to fight the Republic of Iran, for sure. And we're going to continue to work on developing these resources. Eventually, we'll run out of political power to spend on these resources, or more specifically, resources to spend political power on. But that'll be a little while yet. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.